Cassie in that hotel. Did you recognize that Sean Combs?
What I want to say, first of all, when I seen the video, everything in the video was egregious. I'm against. I don't support all the charges that's alleged against him. I don't support any of that trafficking, minors, domestic violence. I'm totally against it. So when I seen the video, yeah, I was kind of upset with it. Being that I know him, he's not necessarily a friend, but yeah, I was upset when I seen it.
CNN recently asked new media man Cameron to hop on and discuss Diddy. It went about as well as one would expect.
Did you recognize that kind of anger at all from your experiences?
I don't know like that. What do you mean? Do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen him. What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him. So yeah, it was him.
What did you think about the apology that he gave in that other video?
Ain't me for this. The apology ain't for me to decide, for Cassie. What I think about it don't matter. He ain't do nothing to me. Cassie need to ask Cassie if she accept the apology. I told you how I feel. I said what I said.
It would continue with CNN's Abby Phillip serving as host of the segment.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint.
Absolutely remarkable. CNN should just call it a wrap after this.
I don't know why Abby stayed on and suffered that. I don't know why Abby put up with that. That shit was hilarious. Cameron was an ultimate troll. You know what I mean? He did it. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what the interview was going to be about. He wasn't ambushed or anything. That's why he had his drink ready to promote whatever that shit was, like some fucking gas station pills to make it dick. I don't know what the fuck that was, but he was already prepared for that. And Abby just had to sit up there. Poor Abby. Abby had to sit up there and just suffer that entire interview where Cameron was trolling her. You mad. But to say all that, to say this, man. Diddy had an apology video, right? Diddy dropped his apology video. Here it goes.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Truly sorry. He never apologized to Cassie. But that's neither here nor there, because look, I don't support anything Diddy did. I mean, we've always known Diddy was a kind of weirdo. You had people jumping out the window for him because there's been a movement of a group of black men who only support black men no matter what they do. Like, black men can't be criminals. I think that shit is stupid. Wait for the facts to come out. I mean, but now that this video come out, they didn't turn code. They talk about how disgusting Diddy is and etc. We've already known Diddy was weird, bro. We heard stories from people that were in the actual industry. But the LA prosecutor let out an official statement and let everybody know that the incident occurred in 2016, and unfortunately they can't do anything about it because the statute of limitations forbids them from bringing up charges, but he has a bunch of civil cases. And the video shows to be true from what Cassie alleged about Diddy, because a lot of people were saying that she was lying, but I mean the video was very, very detailed to her statement. Like it was like fucking, you know how you have the read along book and you got the book words and they match. It was kind of equivalent to that shit. But I mean, so it's I mean, if she ain't lying about that and she has credibility in the court of public opinion, I think it's kind of safe to say that she probably was telling the truth about the $50,000 that Diddy had to remove the video, because the video is just now resurfacing. And a lot of people are saying the company don't exist, but I think they do exist. But they released an official statement too. Check it out.
That lawsuit that Cassie had filed, she alleges that Sean Diddy Combs paid the hotel $50,000 for that hallway security footage that you just saw. But in a statement to NBC News, IHG Hotels and Resorts said, quote, "This hotel is no longer under IHG management, and we do not have any access to prior incident records or footage," adding that they did not receive money for this footage.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every.
So yeah, it's alleged that Diddy paid $50,000 to get the video removed. I've seen a bunch of people online turn into these like psychoanalysts, people who were, you know, I look at his body language, you know, a guy with his teeth looking like that, or his jawline looking like that. You know, there's no way that I knew he was guilty. Like, bro, everybody turned into experts. And like I said, this is not. I'm not one of those people who think that there's an attack on black men and black men can't be guilty of any crimes. So I'm not one of those people. So I absolutely believed he did it when Cassie released her statement. I mean, I definitely was leaning towards Diddy being guilty, and I made that very clear. Matter of fact, we did an episode about it. But to call out the hypocrisy, man, like I feel like today's society has been built and geared towards fucking outrage. So everybody's mad about something, right? Like we always talking about this cancel culture shit. We live in a fucking cancel society because our fucking confirmation biases are being incentivized by YouTube and Facebook and all these algorithms. So they want you to find something that everybody's always, why you keep talking about race? Race is what they use to separate us. It's like, bro, have you looked at your fucking algorithm? Have you opened up your phone when you're thinking about shopping and the computer knows it and sends you a shopping video? You really think that race is the problem now? No, it's these if you want to talk about divide the country, go to the people that make the algorithms. Go after those people because they know you better than you know yourself. Like, bro, like sometimes you will be thinking a thought, hey man, I want to buy some Crocs, and then you see an ad pop up, new Crocs for sale. That shit's not a fucking coincidence. I'm not saying they can read your mind, but people born around don't die square. People are creatures of habit, and they know it. The computer's going to be smarter than any human being could ever be, right? So, with that being said, I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy, right? Dana White, right? You're familiar with Dana White, right? Dana White went forward and slapped his wife, right? Dana White slapped his wife a while back. And it was on camera, right? It wasn't nearly as gruesome as what Diddy did to his wife, but it still was gruesome, right? And Dana White, the level of fucking arrogance that this motherfucker had when he came out, it was just, it was crazy, bro. It was fucking crazy. So this is Dana White actually hitting his wife, right? It looks like she's telling her something. Excuse the flashing lights, stay in the club. She tries to leave. Look, she tried to leave and get away. He grabs her right there. He grabs her, and then she smacks him, and he smacks the shit out of her, and then smacks her ass again, right? Smacks her ass again. And Dana White did press, you know what I mean? He first off, he held his own fucking press conference, right? And fucking Dana White during the press conference basically just said what the fuck he wanted to say, right? There it is.
And what is my punishment? Here's my punishment. I got to walk around for... I'm sure you guys have seen the TMZ video and seen my interview. It was obviously a horrible personal experience. And, you know, there's no excuses for it. Something that I'm going to have to deal with and live with for the rest of my life. And one thing that I do want to clarify in this thing that I didn't talk about on TMZ because I didn't expect it and I didn't see it coming is the people that are defending me. You know, there's never an excuse. I'm sure you guys have read some of the same stuff that I've seen. There's no defense for this, and people should not be defending me over this thing, no matter what. You know, all the criticism that I have received this week is 100% warranted and will receive in the future. So, and you know me better than anybody. If, you know, especially the people that I don't like start coming after me, nobody fires back more than I do. Whatever that anybody has to say, everybody has an opinion on this, and they're right to have their own opinions. I was very opinionated on this too, and I still am. You know, it's crazy that I'm sitting here even having this conversation with you guys, but yeah. So my reason for being here today is I just wanted you guys to focus on them and not me.
Yeah, so Dana White did exactly what Diddy did in his video, right? The only difference is, we know the big glaring differences. Do I have to tell you? But Dana White held a press conference. He was really arrogant. He was telling fighters, like, basically, don't worry about me. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm Dana White. You know what I mean? It was caught on camera. Dana White has had a history of people in the UFC who have abused women, and he's been very vocal about it. Like, it was a dude named Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva brutally beat his wife. Dana White said he would never fight in the UFC again. And Dana White he never thought he would be on the end of this. And you know that if Dana White did that on camera, he tried to blame it on, first off, you know people about to make an excuse when they say no excuse. I was drunk, but that's no excuse. Then why the fuck did you mention it if it's not an excuse? That's exactly what you're using as an excuse. So he tried to use this excuse that he's drunk, and he said it has never happened before. Bro, you didn't look sorry after you did it, and you didn't look remorseful while you was fucking doing it. The only thing that Dana White was sad about is being caught on camera. Like, if that happened on camera, you know, at home she's getting the shit beat out of her by Dana White. But they even asked Dana White, like, like I said, people was criticizing the Diddy apology, bro. But it's the exact same thing for rich ass billionaire people who thought they would get away with a crime. It's about, like, they become the victims. You know, I was going through a dark time. You know, it was alcohol induced. Him and Diddy literally used the same excuse of alcohol. Think it's a coincidence? Absolutely fucking not. But, you know, I was going through a dark time, and they become victims, right? And then after they become victims and a not heartfelt apology, it's all about me, you know, recognizing I have demons, and they even gonna say nobody's perfect, to try to get you to take the standard off of them that you hold. That is the bare minimum of not putting your hands on somebody you say you love. Similar situations, right? Then they asked Dana White, what would he change about it? This is what he had to say.
That statement rather than go to TMZ, is there anything you would have done differently?
I would have stayed home New Year's Eve. If I could go back and change anything, I'd have stayed home on New Year's Eve, yeah. But no, I don't know.
Holy fucking shit. They asked Dana White, what would you change? It was like, no, I wouldn't have drunk alcohol that night to get to that point. Or no, I wouldn't rewind time and not hit my wife. It was, I would have stayed home. That right there lets me know for a fact that he's only ashamed about being caught on film. Dana White did not give a fuck about hitting his wife at all. No, like, has absolutely zero fucking remorse. So we want to talk about comparison? I mean, Diddy's the video might have been a little bit more graphic, you know what I mean? But both alcohol-induced billionaire people, and one of them got away scot-free. You know what I mean? Public opinion they may have touched on it a little bit, but they was also concerning in the media. Oh, you know, Dana White's my friend, and I talked to him off air. But I ain't seen that rescue jacket for P. Diddy. You know what I mean? He don't deserve it. Neither one of them deserves it. I'm just talking about the fucking moral outrage button that exists inside of everybody that's activated through the fucking YouTube algorithm, right? But Dana White went on further to even the plot thickens, right? Dana White went on further to say what his punishment should actually be. And then he had the arrogance to say, well, you know, if you punish me, you'll really punish the UFC because I'm so motherfucking great and a cornerstone to the UFC. Bro, that's fucking stupid. The dude that fucking Roger Ailes, who was flashing people his fucking penis and using sex favors for them to move up at Fox News. You ever wonder why? See, you're not familiar with the story. You ever wonder why Fox News always had people that look the same, the women? Like, they would be skinny, petite. They would have blonde hair, normally blue eyes, right? Because it helped with the narrative of the true American, true white. But it's because Roger Ailes had a type, right? And his type was that. And Roger Ailes would literally get them sex favors to move up in Fox News, which is so crazy because they were fucking Roger Ailes to move up and they didn't want to do it. They felt disgusted. Then they would go out every night, and have these narratives to spin towards Black America and real America and the woke left. That is fucking hilarious, bro. The right is abusing you, but you got to go out and pretend like it's the left that's really abused. That is crazy. It reminds me of back in the days in the fucking 50s and 60s when a white woman would get touched or something by their husband, and they would go out and say it was the Black people because those are the people that don't have anybody to fight with them. And somebody got to pay for me getting touched, right? And I can't go after the powerful. So what am I going to do? I'm gonna go after the less fortunate and the non-powerful. So I'm gonna go after them. It's the same fucking concept. But this is what Dana White had to do and talk about it. Had to say about his punishment. Check this shit out.
I wants to know. I mean, like you said, no excuses. Full apologies. And I like your statement there that it shouldn't be defended at all. But are there going to be any repercussions? People are saying, he's a big public figure. He's big, charged this big company. Nobody's really talking about it. Are there any repercussions planned from the company or self-imposed repercussions?
Yeah, well, I mean, what should the repercussions be? You tell me. I take 30 days off. How does that hurt me? I mean, I told you guys when we were going through COVID could last 10 years. I could set it out and, you know what I mean? What would be the problem? It's much like COVID, actually. Me leaving hurts the company, hurts my employees, hurts the fighters. Doesn't hurt me. I could have left in 2016. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do I need to reflect? No, I don't need to reflect. The next morning when I woke up, you know what I mean? I've been against this. I've owned this. I'm telling you that I'm wrong. And but listen, I mean, we've had plenty of discussions internally with Ari, ESPN. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy about this. Neither am I. But it happened, and I have to deal with it.
Nobody's happy. You poor soul, Dana White. You've been through so much. Not the wife that you were actually smacking up, but you the real victim, Dana. But this is what Dana White had to say about his UFC fighters. He said, no, this is about Ray Rice. Because you remember Ray Rice was on video and Ray Rice, that shit was probably the most brutal domestic video I've ever seen, right? Like I can't remember. I mean, I've got it up here. I didn't even want to show that shit today. But I think if I recall, he hit her with like a left hook and then dragged her on the elevator. That shit was gruesome. So he had Thiago Silva that was fighting in his company, right? And then he had Ray Rice, and then he did an interview. It's funny because I searched for this clip high and fucking low, and I could not find this clip anywhere. Dana White did like a fucking cease desist on this fucking video. It's nowhere to be found. But the Diddy video just popped up out of nowhere, and it was on surveillance footage. It wasn't actual media press. That's crazy, bro. $50,000 he gave. Diddy, you should have paid $100,000 for that motherfucker to just self-destruct. But anyway. He said, there's one thing you never bounce back from, and that's putting your hands on a woman. He said, been that way in the UFC since it started here. You don't bounce back from putting your hands on a woman. That's what he had to say about Thiago Silva, right? And then when Ray Rice was reinstated into the NFL, y'all remember that scandal? He said, it's a tough one, White said on Fox Sports Live. First of all, the video is horrifying. It's funny because you could place everything that he's saying and put it to his own video, but that's neither here nor there. He said, absolutely horrifying. He said, you're talking about a guy who's been in the fight business since he was 19 years old. So he's saying that, this is horrifying for somebody that's actually in the fucking fight business and has been in it for 19 years. And this is horrifying. This is hilarious, bro. He said, it's the most disturbing thing you will ever see. He said, the thing is that just as bad as the punch is that he shows no remorse after he does it. He said, that's hilarious because he showed absolutely no fucking remorse. As a matter of fact, his only big regret was actually going out that night. You know what I mean? He would have stayed home that night. It wasn't drinking. It wasn't hitting his wife. No fucking remorse. It's hilarious, bro. He said, if you did something in anger and you go, oh my God, what did I just do? But you didn't do that. He said, there's none of that with this guy. I don't know all of the ins and outs of what Roger Goodell did or did not know, but how was it handled? But it's definitely bad. I could tell you this, I wouldn't want to be Roger Goodell. And he went on to say that basically if Roger Goodell knew about the film before it came out, that Roger Goodell should basically resign, which is fucking hilarious. Roger Goodell, if he reinstated Ray Rice that he should fucking resign. The fucking irony of that. That Dana White would tell somebody to resign and he's the head of it. And when they asked him what his punishment should be, well, you can't really punish me because I'm so detrimental to the company and the company needs me. And all you would be doing is punishing these poor UFC fighters who had nothing to do with me slapping the shit out of my wife. Bro, it just doesn't make any sense. But Dana White is in good company. Chuck Liddell is in the UFC company, and he had domestic charges. So did fucking Mike Perry, Luis Pena, John Jones, and War Machine. War Machine actually dated a porn star, and I think he cheated on him, and he kicked down the door, and I think he beat that dude to death, and I think he might have killed the woman even, which is even more gruesome. But yeah, this is what's happening in the UFC. And then the owner I guess it's a trickle down effect. Everybody try to play us with trickle down economics. Dana White is doing trickle down domestic abuse. But like I said, Dana White, this shit has just flew up under the radar. Nobody's even talking about it. He had no fucking remorse. Everything that he criticized Ray Rice and Roger Goodell and all those people he was doing his damn self. But he tried to convince us, you can, you could believe it or you could not believe it. But yeah, that was his statements back then. And the reporters even went on to ask him, does he have a message for domestic violence victims? And this is what he had to say.
That you think you can do in terms of, you just have such a high profile position, right? Like in terms of advocacy. As you said, this is wrong, this is bad. Is there anything that you think this would be a great point to start to, a message against it, supportive domestic violence victims, anything along those lines?
Yeah, we've created a lot of awareness. This was, and it's not something that I'm trying to, but I've been married to this woman for 27 years. We've known each other for 40. We've been friends for 40 years. We've been married for 27 years. And like I said, anybody who's married knows being married is it's a job. It's something you got to work at every day. Her and I have been through some shit, but we're still together. We have 3 great kids, and the biggest focus for us is our family. I guess it's like I don't know. I'm trying to think about what it's like. I don't know. There's been a lot of awareness, and I haven't hid from this thing. I haven't ran from it. I've taken it head on, and from day one, I don't know what else I could do. Sure, if I could help anybody else in this situation, I said it before, and now I'm saying it after I've done it. You don't ever do it. Don't defend me. Don't anybody defend me. There's no reason to even try to defend me. And I don't want any of our fighters in this position where they feel like they have to, unless they want to come out and say, he's an asshole, or whatever their feelings are about this. I'm all about free speech. So
last thing for me, Dan, I know it was incredibly unfortunate timing, I guess, in terms of the launch of a slap league. Do you think that's going to impact what happens with that, or is it good to go? Or there
is no good or bad timing for what I did. You know what I mean? There's irony, very ironic, but there's no good or bad timing for what I did on New Year's Eve.
Then obviously, when something like this happens, you've got to take it day by day. I'm sure plans are changing about how you deal with it, but.
So, Diddy, more than likely guilty of these crimes. We'll let the court systems do their thing, right? Because I'm not a juror. You know what I mean? I'm not the judge. I'm not any of those things. Court of public opinion, he looks at more than likely looks like he's 98%, 99% guilty. But I think what he's most importantly guilty of is believing that because he's around those elite guys and that he has money, that he was accepted into the group, that he could do whatever he wants to, that he could move around like those guys. Because Dana White didn't face the backlash that Diddy did. He did maybe for a month or two, or fucking something stop. Wasn't even a fucking month, a week or two. Maybe a week or two, Dana White might have faced a little bit of backlash, a little bit of pushback. And, even one of the reporters gave him a little bit of pushback at the thing. This is what he had to say. He asked him about Dana White's own statements, but Dana White answered. But like I said, Diddy thought he was white. But Diddy White, he thought, he hanging around these guys. He's eating caviar. Got a bank account that appears to be unlimited, money making, like his catalog of fucking loan. He's making a lot of money from that. And he started to believe that he could operate like those people. And the one thing that Oprah had to find out when she went and it was followed around the store and could have bought the entire franchise of the store that she was around is you can't escape your blackness, brother. You ain't learned your lesson from countless of celebrity that try to escape their blackness and couldn't, because Dana White arrogantly responded to his shit with, "Don't defend me. I got this shit. And you know, this is gonna be my punishment. You know, my punishment is basically I gotta go around and this is gonna follow me. The stigma. What the fuck? So stigma is stigma is gonna be the worst thing that ever happens to you. The stigma of doing something that you actually did. What the fuck is going on in goddamn society today? That's crazy. Like I said, the outrage button is fucking monetized now. They didn't monetize it for Dana White because the people that he's friends with, you know what I mean, the billionaire guys that identify with him didn't want his life to be ruined. There's no difference than when that dude was doing something, was graping that girl behind the trash can and was caught, and the judge was like, you know, you can't fuck this young guy's life up. He identified with him. He made that ruling not about justice. He personalized it, and that's the thing. Can't nobody identify. It's not enough black people that are above Diddy that can identify with Diddy that have any remorse. In fact, they're gonna do the complete opposite. They're gonna wash their hands of that shit and move the fuck on. I mean, shit, it's not enough black people in power. You see LeBron stopped following him, but one of the reporters actually had the balls to pull Dana White's card and ask him about his own statements, and this is what he had to say.
In 2014, you said you don't bounce back from putting your hands on a woman. How do you bounce back from this as a leader in the UFC and at home as a husband and a father?
You don't. You don't bounce back from this. You don't ever bounce back from this, you know? For the rest of my life, like I said, however long that is, people are going to label me that. You know what I mean? I did it. I did it.
How do you repair things at home?
You don't bounce back from it. You wake up every day and try to be better than you were yesterday, and you make sure that never happens again. Whatever steps you have to take to make sure that you're never in that situation and that never happens again, that's what I need to do. And it's a fact. I mean, there's a couple things in life that you don't bounce back from, and this is one of them. That's a fact.
Hi, Dana. Thank you for coming out. I know it can't be easy to face us all. I want to know if there's going to be any changes going forward with fighters that are in this similar situation. If there's any changes to procedures, or now that you've gone through it, if you're going to have any different take on that.
Well, I don't have a different take on it. I mean, it all depends on different situations. You know what I mean? But hopefully, everybody's seen what's going on with me, and hopefully this never happens. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes, and you know, all you can do is try to recover from the mistakes that you make in life. And yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be on a case by case basis. I mean, we got a lot of people around here that make a lot of mistakes, and I'm one of them. Thank you. Yep.
Dana, just one. Other than everything we can see, is there any damage financially, talking any sponsor or anything financially, any damage for the company?
No, I don't think I don't think so. But you know, still early too, so we'll see. Done with me? Have a great day. Thanks.
Have a great day. Thanks. So, War Machine definitely did domestic violence. What color do you think B&B Billy Badass is, and Micro Farming? What color do you think those guys are? Because he said he has done so much for our community. Then he said War Machine, and then somebody said War Machine didn't kill anybody. He said Puff broke ceilings and showed us how it's done. He said Puff has worked his ass off. Said Dana White slapped his wife once. He didn't drug and have prostitutes running a train on her. So he hasn't had his day in court. So, like I said, public opinion, I believe that he did it, but my belief doesn't affect the justice system. They're not looking for the boxer scholar's opinion on the justice system, and they're not looking for yours either. And you don't know what the fuck Dana White is doing. Dana White hangs out in Vegas, and Dana White goes to those fucking secret parties, that the Bohemian Grove parties that y'all be talking about. Do you think that Dana White would not be invited to those fucking parties? As a matter of fact, now this is a fact. Dana White told a story about Tom Brady, and in the story he revealed that Tom Brady was going to go to the fucking Raiders, right? And everything was a done deal. But at the last second, Tom Brady didn't end up going to there, and he had a meeting with the owner of the Raiders team and everything. How the fuck do you think Dana White knows about that, being in a completely different sport? That's some Illuminati shit. That's hush shit. That's the level of money that you wouldn't even be invited to these fucking parties. That's why I say y'all's ability to look and judge these situations and things, it's like y'all don't compute. Y'all are fucking like y'all are broken. Said Dana White did mentally abuse. You don't know what the fuck Dana White did to his fucking wife, bro. That's all what you saw on footage. You don't know what happened behind closed doors. She just ain't came forward with it. So because is Puffy innocent because Kim Porter never came forward with anything? You probably don't even know who Kim Porter is. Kim Porter was P. Diddy's ex-wife. That's why I say, bro, like, so if you mad at that, if you mad at me calling out the hypocrisy in that, brother, just hold on. Hold on, it's gonna get worse than that. Because I seen something today that really fucking pissed me off. Really goddamn pissed me off. And that's why it took me so long. I had to go and edit this fucking show. Because I'm talking about Diddy is cool. But this shit right here, man, this for to blow your top, bro. This for to blow your top. This for to hit the moral outrage button that I talk about exists in front of everybody that the algorithm exploits, right? This shit because this shit is all about white privilege. You've been warned. He said you don't know if she's worried about it. Now that Caesar wants money, she's lying about it. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. Said, but man, I ain't reading no fucking comments. I'll put the comments on the screen, but I got shit that I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off, right? So said, why is he holding Cisco? That was the thumbnail that I chose because it just was the graphic. I don't know, it's the audio that I took. So anyway, I'm like I said, I was fucking pissed off. So what I seen today was Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden gave a speech at college, and white people lost their shit, right? And what pissed me off the most about the speech was he didn't even say much, but they just overreacted like they do much things in life, right? So this is the speech that Joe Biden gave, right? Check it out.
What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? The trail of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot. Most of all, what does it mean? As we've heard before, to be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure.
So Joe Biden said that, right? And fucking people at fucking Fox lost their shit. They lost their shit. They first off, they had people on. So they had this they do exactly what I said they do whenever they want to make a point and not seem like they're racist. So what they'll do is they'll bring a black person on and they'll say, see, I'm not racist. You know, my best friends are black. And look, I have a black person on. And they're saying exactly what I want them to say. I couldn't possibly be racist. They're saying it. It's not me, it's them. And black people get used and they go out there and fucking do it. That like you have black people out there that is riding for Trump like this hard, no Diddy.
So I know Trump is innocent. I support Trump against this corrupt two-tier justice system. That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump. And I'm wearing my shirt, niggas for Trump 2024. And I'm
being used like a motherfucker, bro. Look, support MAGA all you want to. Niggas for Trump is that shit is just a level of stupidity I can't even wrap my fucking mind around, right? But like I said, that the narratives, bro. Like I'm a content creator. I know how this shit works, bro. I know what they're trying to spin. Fox News is the master of spin that everybody's trying to copy Fox News, including CNN. But what they did was they took that clip of Joe Biden, took it out of context, and then added a spin on it. And this is what Fox News had to do, right?
If there's two people running and you don't vote for one, that's pretty much you giving your vote to the other person. Exactly so whether or not you outwardly say you support Trump, if you're not voting, you're definitely giving Trump your vote.
All right. Michaela, who should have been the commencement speaker at Morehouse, maybe next year.
She should have been the speaker instead of Donald Trump. I mean, excuse me, instead of fucking Joe Biden. That is fucking crazy, bro. They had her on there, and this was the headline. This is what the headline read. Blacks ditch Biden to join MAGA. Can't make this shit up. Blacks ditch Biden to join MAGA. Like that is the headline. So that speech at Morehouse was enough to make black people be like, oh no, you know, I can't even really ride with Joe Biden anymore, man. I just gotta go to join MAGA. Or as the black person so adequately put it, niggas for Trump. We became black people have become a tool for white supremacy and don't even fucking realize it. The same thing that Diddy was suffering from. Diddy started making so much money that Diddy thought he was a white man because he's out there with these white people. They're telling him how much they love him. They got him bunny hopping with his hands together like fucking got him bunny hopping with his hands together like fucking Meek Mills. Like they started to believe like, you know, these people care about me. These people love me. So the girl that was on there was the girl that you seen in the Trump Chick-fil-A video where he pulls up to the Chick-fil-A, he's talking and he's hugging on them. That was one of the girls. And she basically came on and said that, you know, people were educated, like black people were educated. We can't have the wool pull over our eyes anymore. You know what I mean? And she was like, you know, it's insulting for Democrats to go up there and say black people have to struggle. And it's just like, I just facepalm. Like, look, I get it, they're pandering. But it's like, what do you want? Do you want them to ignore what you go through? That's why I say black people have become a fucking instrument and an arm of white supremacy and don't even fucking realize it. And then to add insult to injury, she goes on to say that black people are we're educated. You can't down talk us. You can't sell us dreams. You can't do this. You can't do that to us. And then right after that, talked about the black people that refuse to vote and how if they don't vote, their vote really counts for Trump. What the fuck kind of stupid ass logic is that? So when they didn't vote in the last election, did that vote go for Biden? How do you know Trump's gonna win? So if they do a non-vote and Biden win, did that vote go for Biden because it was a non-vote? Like, bro, I just can't wrap my mind around the fucking stupidity of these people, bro. It's so fucking like it just makes me angry. Like, do you know what I'm talking about moral outrage? That shit didn't find me through the algorithm. I found that shit. And that shit is fucking frustrating. Well, what's up, Pittsburgh T?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Yeah, man. We can throw another name on that pile, man. If you want to queue up that article that I sent you, that link right there, Doc, we can throw another name in that pile. That seems to be the great white hope. That every time he do anything, it's just people, even black people, rocking with this dude. They didn't name this dude genius. They didn't cop him out that he running all these companies.
It's Musk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We could throw another name. And he been paid $250,000 to a stewardess behind him exposing himself. And you never hear nothing about that. Why is that? You hear nothing about that.
Oh, we know why. Pittsburgh T, we know. Man, come on, bro. We know why. Pittsburgh T, this is what I couldn't wrap my mind around, right? So this is what I surmised in the country, right? I realize it now. You know, I mean, I've always noticed it, but I never really like it. It didn't become fact until today, right? White people feel like they are the rightful owners of this country, and if you're in this country and you don't have a problem with it, go to another country. They have said that on many accounts, right? Like they talk about cancel culture, right? And how cancel culture is affecting them, bro. And then right when they talk about cancel culture, they try to fucking cancel somebody. Like you can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make it up, bro. Look, this is a video of them saying, you know, you can't really say stuff nowadays because you're canceled for it. And then then right after they say that, there's another clip of them saying the exact same thing that they say that they can't say. Check this shit out.
You can no longer say somebody is homeless. You have to say they are unhoused. Free phones, food, and clothing sounds like a great deal. A homeless woman in a Democrat-run city.
Pretty soon we won't be allowed to say illegal aliens because it'll be hate speech and therefore illegal. Illegal aliens streaming across our border.
Trans agenda is a religion now. Convert or be canceled. Big Trans has a real knack for making everything about themselves.
Dare to speak your mind about issues like pro-life? Well, your life could be ruined forever. You could be canceled. I'm never going to apologize for being pro-life.
How did we get to the point where we can't say all lives matter? As a matter of fact, all lives matter.
Crazy, bro. No, motherfuckers, y'all are the people who cancel people. That's crazy. I realized that cancel culture only doesn't want to cancel you when you're saying the shit that they believe in. But if you say something that's against anything that they believe in, they're ready to fucking cancel you, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, but the problem with this whole situation, I think that whole now it's been sparked because of that Cam interview, where CNN tried to trot out Cam and get him to speak about Diddy as if he knew him personally or he observed some shit. And the problem with that is they ain't do that shit for Weinstein. You ain't see nobody who was associate getting on TV doing that dumbass shit, or Epstein, or any of these other guys that do this weird shit. Or Dana White, like you just didn't see that. So like, and then remember the whole thing with Puffy. There's no formal charges against him. It's all civil lawsuits. So like all of that stuff don't make no sense. We be the first one as black people to jump on board and be the more arbiters of truth. When these motherfuckers ain't got no truth, they don't got no arbiter or nothing, that we gang on. Because Weinstein, you know, they dropped a set of those charges already that he had. They already dropped some of that shit already.
So I guess they doing him like how they did Jack Johnson when they pardoned Jack Johnson after he had been dead for fucking 50 to 60 years or some shit like that. Nah, it's 100 years.
I mean, it is. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, and then look, that whole thing with Trump too. Like, look, this is the problem when we jump on these moral high horses. They wanted the stuff they trying to prosecute Trump for. They doing that lady Mosby, the district attorney. I think it's in D.C. or Philadelphia. They prosecuting her for, but she ain't got no team of lawyers and she ain't got no bunch of money. Her ass going to jail. She asking for a pardon for taking money out of her retirement account that was her, that she put in there, that she said that she was going through financial difficulties, which was one of the ways you can get the money out. They said she lied on the application, and she lied because she took the money out of that retirement, and she was going to go buy houses, second and third houses with that money. She lied on a loan application, so she's going to jail for that. And so all these people who jump up and down and say, "Oh, we got to be," if you broke the law, you got to go to jail. Okay, show me where everybody else going to jail. Like, that'd be the problem with that shit. Only us going to jail.
You went out Pittsburgh team. We can't. You know what's crazy? We can't hear you if you talking Pittsburgh team. You might be going through a bad area. But he said, "Is Andrew Tate still alive? Where is his brother at?" Hey, facts, bro. Andrew Tate was suffering from sex trafficking as well, bro. To the point where this motherfucker fled the country, came back with conspiracy theories about how the elites were after him. And this motherfucker's still producing content. He's still on YouTube. He popped back up like nothing. That's crazy, bro. Like I said, the moral outrage.
Wait, Scott, did you hear me? Did you hear what I was saying about the Mosby? Did you hear me what I was saying about the Mosby stuff? How she did you hear? You know the story about Marilyn Mosby? You know that story?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, so she was a district attorney that prosecuted the cop, or the cop transported, I believe it was Freddie Gray, that he died in the back of a paddy wagon when he broke it. Either died or he got really fucked up. The one that was they were transporting him, I believe he died. Anyways, that cop who was transporting them got prosecuted, and the correctional officers, like a whole bunch of people got prosecuted in the city and the state where they never did that. And she was going after the chief police, a couple different people in the police force. Well, fast forward, that lady got caught up. They started digging because they figured out that she lied on her application for her retirement account during that COVID, because you could get your money out of COVID during COVID. After they signed that COVID bill, they allowed you to remove your money from COVID from your retirement account, which they never did before. Before, you had to go through whoever the broker was, and they had these very distinct things that you had to do, and they would just paperwork you to death. Or you probably, in most cases, you never really got your money, and if you did get your money, it was a loan, you had to pay it back. Well, COVID, all you had to do was say, "I have financial difficulty." Boom, Scarlett can go get his money that he put in his retirement account. You got access to that. All you got to do is pay the taxes on that, which is 20%, and they waived the 10% early withdrawal fee. So she did that. She said she had financial difficulties. She went and took that money down and tried to buy a house. I believe it was in Florida, buy 2 houses. What they did is they said that she didn't have financial difficulties, so she lied on the application. And then they're also saying that she committed mortgage fraud because she lied on that application, right? So right now she's in a phase of sentencing. So now all the articles, if you Google her name, all you'll see is that she's waiting on the pardon. So when you on the side of trying to champion truth, and we got to lock everybody up that's breaking the law, it seems to be only one group of people who go to jail for these fucking laws. Like it just seemed to be. Because remember in New York, they also had that stop and frisk in the entire city, but it was only its majority black people they was fucking with. But it went over the whole city. So I mean, it's just the obvious is there, bro. It ain't that hard to draw the line.
Bro, and what add insult to injury, bro, is like I said, bro, I realized today that they think that they're the rightful owners of the country, which is why they're so mad about cancel culture, bro. Cancel culture are just fucking people that have been oppressed, bro, saying like, hey man, could y'all stop using the word nigga? Whatever the case may be, right? Now, I ain't gonna lie, this shit do get ridiculous, but they've attached themselves to that, like that type of thinking. They don't give a fuck. They try to cancel everybody. Like I said, this is them talking about an NFL player. Check this shit out.
Major scandal rocking the NFL. Players in big trouble, not for doing drugs, betting, or beating women, but because he's Christian.
The left seeks to destroy an outspoken NFL Catholic.
He's been doxxed. He's been slammed. They're calling for him to be canceled. The left hates Christian values.
They will try to denigrate you, isolate you, cancel you, and ultimately silence you completely. But be not afraid.
Be not afraid. The hilarious part about that, the hypocrisy in that, is Colin Kaepernick. We watched y'all talk about Colin Kaepernick. So it didn't even take me 5 minutes to find this clip. So they're in favor of free speech and non-persecution when it's people that they agree with, like a God-fearing American white man, right? So when it's Colin Kaepernick, this is what they had to say, and President Trump even spoke on it as well, Mr. Champion of freedom of speech.
The fury aimed at San Francisco's 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick is not going away. Kaepernick sparked outrage when he refused to stand for our national anthem. And Kaepernick saying our country oppresses black people, and now Donald Trump has a message for the quarterback.
I think it's a terrible thing. And, he'll maybe he should find a country that works better for him. Let him try. It won't happen.
Maybe he should find a country that works better for him. Let him try. It's not happening. It's crazy. Like I said, bro, y'all made the message is really clear for me. I don't know about other black people. I can only speak for myself. The message is very clear. Y'all are the rightful owners of this country, and we should be happy with the way life goes, because compared to somebody else, you know what I mean, our life is so much better than theirs. Like, we didn't build this for this fucking country. You know what I mean? And they can have entitlement, but we can't. They can do they can cancel people, but we can't. That shit is crazy to me. But like I said, they even went further on in that same interview to speak, and then they brought a white person on, and he was trying to be empathetic, but at the same time, he's lost because he's aware of what Colin Kaepernick was trying to do. But check this shit out.
Of your reaction, but do your thoughts about this Colin Kaepernick controversy?
You know what? As a white American, it's difficult for me to understand what Colin is going through as an African American, and as an African American community. I understand that outrage. I think his delivery, the place that he decided to take the stand, is completely distasteful. I think if you're going to address something like that, which I do agree needs to be addressed, it needs to be rectified during our national anthem, during the time that we are honoring the country, the people who have lost their lives. And for him to take that time out of his life to make it about anything else but the greatest nation in the world that we live in, that we're blessed to live in, to have the rights that we have, I think it's distasteful. I don't think it has anything to do with the platform that he has as a professional athlete, as a role model. When you're giving interviews after the game, speak about this, stand up for this. But also, as an American, as somebody who enjoys the liberties and the freedoms that you have been afforded by those that who've come before you to defend this country, to build this country, you stand up and you honor that.
Stand up and you fucking honor that. Is that not an attack on is that an attack on black culture? Because y'all made that an attack on faith when the NFL was doing their thing business wise with the people that y'all agree with. But when Colin Kaepernick was on that knee, y'all did everything. Y'all called him everything but a child guide. It was nonstop coverage on there. Colin Kaepernick did this, Colin Kaepernick this, Colin Kaepernick that. Y'all was just fucking just Colin Kaepernick everything. Y'all were like the people that used to come on, like the monorail guy from The Simpsons when it came to Colin Kaepernick. But I think you guys missed the point of a fucking protest. The point of a protest is not to exercise your rights when it's convenient and to make everybody comfortable. It's to exercise your rights when it make people uncomfortable. That's what Rosa Parks literally did. Rosa Parks wasn't like, I'm going to go to the park because my last name is Rosa Parks, and I'm going to stand up and speak on a microphone. No, she stood up she refused to go to the back of the bus and made a stand on the bus. Intended. But check this shit out.
The liberties and the freedoms that you have been afforded by those who've come before you to defend this country, to build this country, you stand up and you honor that.
Well, I mean, to add to that, Scholar, I'm down here in South Florida, bro, ironically. And who had a big problem with that, which is really going to make you laugh, is the dudes that's from across the water, the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans. And it's not even an irony of that. It's like, bro, you just got here. Ain't nobody, you ask them, hey, somebody in your family served? Nope. Nobody in your family served in any armed forces. You ain't you ain't that damn patriotic. Like, stop it. Knock it all the way off. It ain't even serious. When you look at our families, most of us, especially black people, have somebody that's either served or directly attached to them or close to them. So the fake patriotism that exists, it's just that. And you actually have a lot of veterans that rock with that because they understand the depths of that. And if you look back in the 60s when they were doing all those protests, they said they were doing that shit wrong too. They said that the march at the bridge, they said that shit was wrong. The one in Alabama, they said that shit was wrong. They said the march, the sit-ins at the stores, those were all wrong back in the day.
Yo,
There's always
Pittsburgh,
never a good time with protests. The difference is,
did you hear the irony, bro? It's like they get it, but they're not acknowledging it. Like, you listen to this statement right here, Pittsburgh T.
The liberties and the freedoms that you have been afforded by those who've come before you to defend this country, to build this country, you stand up and you honor that.
Right. That's what we're telling you. Honor that. Honor the people that came before you, our ancestors that built this country. It's like, it's so frustrating, motherfucker. Like, y'all are not the owners. That's the problem. The problem seems to be the ownership.
No, Scholar, it's us too. But we get into that, Scholar. Like, we jump right into it with them and be like, yeah, y'all need to show some respect. Like, not that, like, it's just, we jump right into it. And if you're gonna talk about you want to be Mr. Patriot, go talk to the veterans. If we want to be super patriot and see what they saying. They ain't saying that shit. Like, the people on TV ain't no goddamn veterans. Like, they need to stop it. The politicians don't serve, don't have their kids. Like, they used to even fake. Remember the second Bush, he did like some reserve stuff where he had to act like he was in the military for a little bit. They don't even do that shit no more, Scholar, where they go hide off in the reserves where they be there for a couple of days out of the weekend, out of the month. They just say, fuck it. They ain't doing none of that shit. And they just gonna yell from the bleachers and tell you how you ain't what they ain't.
Pittsburgh, the crazy part about that is like I said, the only standard they know is a fucking double standard, right? He went on later in the interview to say, like, to actually crystallize the point of a fucking protest. He was like, well, it brings a lot of attention to this subject, but it's not the time and it's not the place. He wasted his life. Check this shit out, bro. This is unbearable and unbelievable. Check this shit out.
It's polarizing right now because it's the hottest topic. And any time you mix the most popular game in the United States, which is the National Football League, with politics and with patriotism, it's going to get a lot of attention. And every single time that there is a football game being played by the San Francisco 49ers, the sad reality is they're not going to be talking about the game. All the cameras are going to be pointed at Colin Kaepernick. They're not going to be paying attention to the other 52 people that are on that team who've paid the price in the offseason and paid the price during their life up until that point to have the opportunity to play in the NFL. And they're going to be talking about Colin Kaepernick, and he's not even going to be playing in the game. At a different point, the thing that I want to talk about today is the fact that he's a franchise quarterback. There's only 32 franchise quarterbacks in the National Football League. Debatable whether or not he's going to start this year, but to use your platform for something good, like bringing equality to the African-American race with police brutality, I'm all for that, but do that at a different time. That's 3 minutes out of your life that you can give to honor those who came before us. And is he taking any of the finances that he's made, the $19 million he's making per year, is he using any of that to leverage that celebrity and that monetary gain that he's making in America to help those communities, to help those families? I don't see it happening, Greta, and that's why this entire thing has rubbed me the wrong way. And I think it's very distasteful. I think it's poor form, and I think it was a poor choice of platforms to choose to stand up for something.
The irony that's exactly what he's doing. He's leveraging his celebrity by kneeling during a protest. That's literally what he's fucking doing. The irony that the oppressor is telling the oppressed how to fucking protest it just blows my mind. And you know why they're even in the business of telling people that? Like, I remember having a conversation one time with this. He was a fucking, I think it was a guy that I don't even know. I think it was a Puerto Rican. He's probably one of those people that check Hispanic or white on the application, but he was a Puerto Rican guy, and he was talking about black people. And no, it was Mex. It was Mex. Mex's name is fucking Mex, like short for Mexican. But Mex was telling me that black people don't know, like he's here to tell black people how to be. And I said, why do you think that you? And I've only been black my entire life, you know, but what makes you an expert to where you could tell me how to be? And he said, I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you from yourself. And I was like, you don't even realize that is a form of fucking white supremacy thinking, that an adult male can't think for himself and that he needs somebody to come think and tell him how to be. If you go through the history books, the entirety of the black genesis of being in America, they've been telling us how to dress, how to talk, how to walk, how our hair should be. Like it's becoming so American that a Mexican from California would tell me, I'm gonna tell you how to be. That shit is mind blowing, bro. Like, you cannot make this shit up, bro.
I mean, the other part to that, let's rattle off some names. Craig Hodges. Did he protest in the correct way when he went to the White House for the dashiki and the plan that he wanted to give to the president after they won the national championship with the Chicago Bulls during Michael Jordan's reign? Did he protest correctly? Abdul Rahim, the dude that was on in the NBA, who was silent, who was doing this that they're complaining about now before anybody even knew what he was doing. Similar situation in the NBA. He was playing. He was a good player. Just was sitting down and wasn't saying nothing. Wasn't holding no press conference, and somebody noticed that's what he was doing. Shortly after that, he was benched. Never really played in the league again. And the man was given like 40 points against Michael Jordan at the time. Google it. Look it up if you don't know. So, like, there's never a good way when you have an opposing view and you look a certain kind of way. Anybody else is considered radical. We got to understand the empathy. Like, and then even now, with an immigrant situation, we got black people on TV crying for immigrants. They ain't even fucking part of this country. But when it comes to black issues, they don't want to be bothered. Even the people that's supposed to be representing you, I don't even get mad at the people who's supremacists. That's what they're supposed to do. I get mad at the Negroes who get up there and start cooning and crying and carrying on about anti-Semitism bills, about the rainbow bills, like about everything but what got to do with them. That's what I be getting mad at these Negroes, because they get up there and they do it too often and they're too comfortable doing it. And it's the same fools over and over again. And they get you lured in with emotions about what's right and wrong. Nobody got to tell you what's right and wrong. Like, that's obvious. That's the obvious thing in the room. But when it comes for you to actually do action, you only seem fit to do action with people who don't look like you. That's just silliness.
So, Pittsburgh T, I got offended when Joe Biden said, you know, if you're not black, you ain't shit. If you don't vote for me, you're not black, right? I got offended, right? But Joe Biden was essentially, to me, saying the silent part out loud. And what is the silent part? The silent part is not every conservative is racist, but all the racists are conservative, bro. Like the fucking KKK ain't coming out and fucking saying, you know, I love democratic views. They're not doing that. So I now today, I'm today years old when I understand that fucking statement. He was just saying the silent part out loud. Do I agree with it? Like, no, Joe Biden, like, you gotta chill out on that shit. But I get it now, bro. They got people out there at the Trump rally with a shirt that say niggas for Trump. Like, you cannot make this shit up, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's why I can't wrap my mind around that.
Scotty, you know that Joe Biden literally said that he don't want his kids going to school with black people. You know that, right? Came to a rally and said that. That's on tape. So like these guys ain't none of them really rock with us.
Joe might be racist. He might be, but at least
Joe, right? He said he don't want his kids going to school with black people.
Joe
bro.
probably is racist.
Black people.
He probably is racist. He probably is racist. But Joe is at least trying to. The Democrats will at least pretend. The conservatives won't even pretend. They let you know. Look, that shit trickles down. We talk about trickle down economics, right? They got people from other countries talking about issues here. and calling black people victims. And look, books are worldwide. The internet is also. You can find you could go to YouTube right now, type in a race documentary and find it, right? And so so everybody is aware of what goes on. Just like everybody knows what happened in the Holocaust, right? We spent our entire adolescence learning that shit in school. So everybody's aware of it. But listen to how somebody from, it's called Australia Sky News, was reporting on Joe Biden's comments that wasn't even controversial. All Joe Biden did was say, you know, he pandered, but when they pander, they tell the truth about what everybody already knows and acknowledges, right? Everybody already knows black people get treated different. There's no doubt about that. That's why people come and try to exploit black people, because it's American to exploit black people. There's no doubt about that, right? So listen to how they're not even from America, and they're talking about American issues and addressing Joe Biden. I want you to notice the titles at the bottom and how they change. And I want you to notice also the tactic of them getting a black person there to say what they want them to say. And I don't even think that black person is from America, but check this shit out.
How damaging is it to Americans? You mentioned the political dynamic here, but how damaging a message to tell them they're victims because of their race, people who could get gunned down in the street despite obviously their advantages?
It's incredibly damaging, especially when you sort of push that rhetoric to young people who are filled with hope, right? Young people that are going out to take on the world. By telling them that they're off to a bad start just by virtue of the color of their skin, you're really kind of playing down their hopes for the future. And I think this is one of those things that you
sends a dark message to students at the bottom of the screen. Biden sends a dark message.
Immigrants that go to the US, because, you know, Black Africans like myself know that we're coming from a place that's so much worse, and poverty is rife, and, you know, people that are against you just happen to share your reflection. These kinds of tactics don't tend to work, but in Black American communities, you really see them resonate with the sort of grievance politics.
Victim mindset, do not help, they hinder. This is at the bottom of the screen.
It hits close to home in a way that people that come from outside that are really grateful for those opportunities don't see.
That's an interesting point.
So they got somebody up there, you know, who's black, so they couldn't call them racist. It's no different than you working a normal job at a factory, and they get somebody that's black to oppress you because it would be hard to prove that black person is racist. It's the same type of fucking strategy. The fact that they brought a black person on that was from Africa that talked about, you know, all the great things that America has in comparison to where they came from, and how we should shut up. How we should shut up and be happy with that shit. That is fucking crazy, bro. Like I said, black people have became an arm and a tool for white supremacy and don't even fucking realize it. That like, look, we always debate, you know, should you use the N-word or should you not? That's debatable, because I feel like that's the only thing we have. We're not getting reparations, you know what I mean? But I do get the craziness of calling black people nigga, and that was a word that they used to demean us. So yeah, I'm there for the conversation. But wearing a shirt that says Trump for niggas around people who are in the KKK is a different level of cooning.
So I know Trump is innocent. I support Trump against this corrupt two-tier justice system. That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump. And I'm wearing my shirt, niggas for Trump 2024. And I'm
became a complete fucking tool for white supremacy and don't even know it. And then later on, I mean, the other stories, like I said, everybody's trying to copy Fox News, right? They understand the media branch and how spinning, you know what I mean, creates a narrative. This is from Sky News Australia, the same network, right? Race baiting, right? Rita blasts Joe Biden and Morehouse College speech, race bait, right? So this is what the fuck. Pittsburgh T, I've never did one Australian coverage about anything. You know what's crazy? It's normally a compliment when people say like, "Hey man, you know, you look just like your daddy," right? I'm here to tell white people, you sound just like your grandparents.
Mrs. J.D. Mallon, and I think this is the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened. The Negroes are just as free as we are. They have the same opportunity to work and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my rights.
Jim Knight with WALB Television News. We're soliciting the views of Albany people on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us your views?
Well, I think if they remain peaceful, it would be a lot better than perhaps the violence that would be concerned. Well, of course, being a Southerner, I'm not for it at all.
I see.
And I just don't know how it's going to turn out. I hope we don't have any trouble.
We're soliciting opinions on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us yours?
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's the time right now. I think they have equal rights, though.
Thank you very much. Would you like to express your views?
No, I don't think so.
How about you?
Nope.
What I'd have to say wouldn't be fit to go on air.
Thank you very much.
I don't like it. I think you're trying to put something on us that we don't want.
I see.
We ought to have a national election on it rather than just letting 9 men tell us what we got to do.
And how about you?
I feel the same.
Fine. Thank you very much.
I sure don't like it, that's for sure.
I see. Do you feel this will have any effect on your life directly?
I imagine it will.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
afraid we might have niggers to live next door to us.
Thank you.
I imagine we might have black people in that. Yeah. This you start. It's not a compliment. You're starting to sound like your grandparents, and that's not in a good way. Though and if you're wondering what that clip was from, that was them reacting to the Civil Rights Bill being passed. Well, they have the same rights as us. Do we? Did we? What the fuck? There would have been no need for the Civil Rights Movement if we had the same rights. Y'all are starting to sound like those people where y'all believe that y'all are the rightful owners of the country and y'all built it. Like you literally got mad at Colin Kaepernick and said Colin Kaepernick needs to stand up for the people that built this country. The fucking irony in that, bro. We not only did we build the country through economics, right? But we literally built the White House that the president resides on that was making comments about Colin Kaepernick getting the fuck up and how he should go to another country if he don't like it. You could not make this shit up.
Well, you know the thing with Joe Biden going to that Morehouse, issue with him was there was a lot of students that did not want him to go there at all because of the whole Palestine war shit. You know, and that's the thing that they had like this whole meeting. I don't know if you saw it, like a couple weeks prior to this, because news had got out that he was going to come and speak. And the students were asking the dean, like, hey, man, why you got this guy coming here and you guys won't address the issues that we have issues with? And why is he taking over our graduation when we don't really rock with him like that? And the dean just completely, would not answer those questions. So I think he draws a different criticism. So it's almost like those two parties, they're keen to be in the same thing. Like there ain't that great separator where it used to be back in the days. That shit don't exist no more, man. Like these dudes is all goofuses and they don't really give a damn about us. And Democrats are actually worse because they just assume that they're gonna get your vote. So they don't even have to put on hits no more. They just say the other side is racist and we ain't gonna do shit for you either. But you got to vote for us because they're racist. That's just where we at. And you got the other side. So you're not getting anything specific. Every other group specifically is getting something done for them. And we just don't, because we start getting into morality and what's right and wrong. And you in politics trying to say what's right and wrong. And that's the game where we get sucked into all the time. And then when you pointed that out, you everything but trying to be somebody who's rational and it's irrational ass shit. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are not for black people at all. Neither side of them, neither way, shape, or form, neither one of them damn fools.
Well, Pittsburgh T, politics in America is not for black people. So somebody saying that a politician is not for black people is like saying a dog is not for trash trucks. That's why they chase them. Of course, this is something that black people are aware of, but I don't get why black people will want to be at a MAGA place where you have people walking around with shirts on that are saying, racist shit, and they don't even hide it. And when I used to ask my cousin this, you know what he said? He said, I'd rather my racists be outright with their racists. And it's like, bro, who do you think was more detrimental to the community? The person that's outright with it, that feel like that something's been taken from them and they missed the days where they could say nigga out loud. Those normally were the people that hung Emmett Till, bro. They hung Emmett Till because they thought the idea of him whistling at a white woman, you know what I mean, was outrageous. Like they didn't like that. They felt like their place was beneath them. Those are the outright racists. Like I said, not every Republican is racist, but all the racists are Republicans. That's not a coincidence.
Yeah, but I don't even Like even that, like look, right now they just passed the bill this year. They just passed something this year in the court. Not even a bill. They took it to court where a group of white people got together and they sued the Minority Business Development Agency. That's an agency that loans out money to minorities. They sued them on the basis that they were being discriminated against, that they should have equal access to that money because it's government money. The literal name of the agency is Minority Business Development Agency. And guess what happened, Scholar? They fucking won. They won. So now the Minority Business Development Agency gives money to everybody. So you don't hear these politicians, none of them speaking out on either side about that. Like that's fucking mind blowing where we going in race in this country and how they're diluting and taking away every little separate thing that they can. And you don't get any of these clowns saying anything. Only thing they come out with is like, I'm basically, the only thing they play is I'm better than him. And we get caught up in this thinking that these guys are moral when none of these guys are moral. None of them care about you. They don't give a damn. Like that's the game. Like the Democrat, D or R is the same thing. And when we get caught up in it, because some kind of way we done rolled in on a moral high horse and people look like us get locked up, we outraged.
So I think it's safe to assume Pittsburgh T. I don't know. I'm gonna just assume you probably live in a nice neighborhood, right? I live in a pretty decent neighborhood, right? I know that everybody on my block don't like me, right? And some of them won't like me just because I look the way I look. That I mean, like I said, that's as American as apple pie. But at least, bro, at least, like I have some neighbors that I can identify with. I have some neighbors that will like me. Like it's a mixed crowd, bro. I feel like when you go to that other side, not only is it less and less and less, and you have outright racists over there, people that be wearing fucking sheets over their head, but also they're gonna use you. They're gonna put the camera in your face and say, "Look, he's speaking for us. He's black." Like basically, they get somebody who's a coon that goes on there and be like, "Well, you know, I ain't nice like Boss, New York City. I slap the black off your ass." They basically be looking for black people like that. And they use them. Like I said, black people have become a tool of fucking white supremacy. Look, whether you vote or whether you don't, there's going to be a white man in office. The reason why they celebrated Obama is because there's a history of American white men running the entire country, bro. Like that's common, right? So you're going to have somebody that's going to be white. And more than likely, if we look at the age range, they're gonna be old, and they're gonna come from a time where, you know what I mean, where they were allowed to do what they do. Like Joe Biden, I mean, he's fucking 80 years old. That motherfucker was around during civil rights when it got passed and shit like that. So it's like you're gonna have somebody that's gonna identify more with the oppressor. I just would choose my oppressor to pretend like they like me and not outright say, "No, you're a nigger." And matter of fact, come here, nigger. I want you to go round the other niggas up and get them to come and convert also. Like, bro, that's crazy to me, bro. No, absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not.
Hey, but you got to point the other part out, Scholar. You know, these prosecutors and DA, which Canelo was, you know how they make their claim to fame, right? You know how they get popular, locking niggas up. That's being tough on crime.
Yes. But see, but that's on both sides. That's one. There's two things that you'll never ever get pushback from in politics, and that is war and being tough on crime. Because bro, law-abiding citizens, they don't want to stay next to those fucking murderer, so they'll submit their freedoms for safety. We do it at the airport with TSA, bro. Like ever since 9/11, you submit all of your fucking freedoms at the airport just because the idea of fucking freedom. So we already do that shit.
Well, remember too, like she started that truancy program where she was locking people up for their kids not going to school and have like a PTA meeting and the representative show up to like get your ass locked up because your kid not going to school, right? And of course, ironically, that there's a law, but you know it's not being perpetuated evenly. So it's only in a certain area that this is even being enforced. And this is the same lady who, after that whole bank crisis where people are losing their houses, and the CEO of Countrywide, which had all this fraud and all this shit, which was in her district, she refused to fucking to prosecute the fucking guy, and jokingly talking about how they friends and shit. So like that's the whole thing about them and this whole law shit. It's a blanket statement they do, and they only do it. The enforcement only comes to hand heavy on a certain group.
Lyric Boss said, "I am white and I've never been racist before." That is fucking hilarious. Lyric, you know how I know you full of shit? Because I've been in America so long, and human beings are built for confirmation bias because it helped us survive. You know what I mean? If you have the group on your side, the group wins, and that was really beneficial during the olden days where there was a lot of war and land takeovers and shit like that. So confirmation bias is natural in everybody. And even with that being said, that mechanism of confirmation bias being in people, I've been racist to my own people and had to check myself. So if it's not conducive for me and my survival to be racist towards black people, and I've been racist towards black people, you as a white person growing up in America, if you're from America, absolutely fucking not. Like, you can quit that shit. You definitely have been racist before, and the fact that you don't even want to acknowledge it is like you can never solve the problem if you don't even acknowledge this shit. But yeah, white people are, bro, come on, man. Like it's almost insane for them to say statements like that and not acknowledge it. And it's almost insane for black people to want them to give that up. That's why I say, bro, you ain't got no friends in America. America's about business and America's about tribalism. All of these politicians, bro, are career politicians. I never even trust anybody who wants to rule over the entirety of every single person in the world anyway. And they devote their whole career to it. Like, you see gold digger videos where people are harder on the gold diggers than they are career politicians. But with that being said, fucking they are y'all believe in the Illuminati, but y'all don't think that these politicians are born and bred and fucking hang out and have yacht parties and orgies, all the stuff that Diddy was doing. They do all that same shit. And it's just funny to me that people don't recognize the hypocrisy in that.
Hey, you know, Clive Davis was the guy who financed that whole Bad Boys label that he had, who notoriously financed the CEO. I think it was Arista who helped him finance that, and notoriously was bisexual and openly bisexual. Like, a lot of that stuff that going with that type of stuff, that predator behavior, those are mostly, like, to me, those are mostly learned behaviors. It ain't just somebody waking up in the middle of the night and be like, you know what I'm gonna start doing right now? This is what I'm gonna do. Like, a lot of that stuff is learned behavior with the twist on it. Like, that's just not stuff that happened. That's why you see people who abuse turn out to be abusers for the most part. So, like, this game that these people be playing, but they only shine a light on a certain person, it is what it is. Politics, to me, has become so disgusting because they do it by identity politics. They don't even try to actually offer you no solutions to that. They do it by trying to speak your language, trying to find somebody who talks the vernacular that you talk, trying to find somebody who look like you, that you can empathize with, to push a narrative. And it ain't even the one that actually fixes the actual problem. It's just like, well, at least they acknowledging it. They say they're going to have some hearings on it. They're going to figure out what's going on. Like, having hearings about certain shit is the dumbest shit ever. Because look at these old white guys, because that's all that's in Congress, over like 50-something years old, trying to figure out what's going on. They don't even know what the fuck be going on. Their aides got to hand them shit papers and let them know what's going on. Did you see the artificial intelligence conference they had in Congress, where they're sitting up there talking to the CEOs of Google and Facebook, and they're reading from the paper? The guy that's the congressman is reading from a paper that clearly his aide wrote, and he has no clue what the fuck he's talking about. Like, they just so detached from the shit. They don't really care, and it's not have nothing to do with them.
But Pittsburgh T, the point I was making in saying all of this is black people, they're getting washed away. They're like a fucking log in the ocean, bro. And the ocean is white supremacy, bro. They either become a tool for it, a beacon for it, or either way you're gonna be complicit and participate in white supremacy. Because more than likely both of the presidents are gonna be part of the system, and we know the system don't give a fuck about us. Like I said, you're gonna vote for somebody that doesn't look like you either way. So what I hear a lot of arguing out of black people for it, they be arguing over which master did what for black people, bro. And it's like, I don't give a fuck, bro. I really don't give a fuck. Like, at the heart of things, like, most people just vote they local whatever, right? So when you go to vote on the ballot, you don't just vote for the president, you vote locally too, right? And if you like some Republicans or Democrats, that's how you should vote. You know what I mean? Because based off of policy that would directly affect you. See, people associate the president with everything, right? Like, they wake up and they toaster break. They're like, man, goddamn right. Like, I was in the store the other day and I was walking around And the Mexican guy was like telling his wife, he was like, yeah, babe, you know, everything's going to be behind this door. You know, Biden's in office. And he was like, and he looked at me to see if I would start laughing too. And I just smirked and just walked away like, bro, don't give a fuck. I'm not fit to talk politics with you in a fucking local Walmart, especially when you don't have control over anything. None of the motherfuckers look like you as well. But you're going to always be voting for your oppressor. I just don't like that. They've joined a side who has verbally said, we like, you guys need to know your place. I almost feel like they could have started like that person said in the comment section earlier, being Uncle Ruckus. Like, we need to go back to the days where black people work for free and help build this country up to make it great. I feel like that they're teetering on saying that. Like Candace Owens and all these, like, you think it's a coincidence that Candace Owens identifies with Republicans, and most of the stuff that she says, if you close your eyes, sounds like the video of those white people talking about black people having their rights in 1964.
Yeah, but you only get the Candace Owens and Jason Fadlocks only because we have no capital, we have no control over anything in this country. So at some levels, all these dudes be cooning. Either they straight cooning or they just gonna completely go dead, dark silent, zero dark 70 when it comes to certain stuff. They just not gonna talk about it because they don't want their closet shaken and they don't want their money taken away from them because they're the first person to make it. And that's really what becomes the problem. Because if you look at Obama killed more Negroes than any president that we've had. Because remember, he was dropping all those drones in that dark country. Them drone bombs that he was dropping off unauthorized, didn't go to Congress and nothing, dropping them things off left and right. That wasn't in no doggone Ukraine or Israel. That was over there in them dark countries where we was at. And he wasn't even getting no authorization. They don't even have no numbers on that stuff. They just dropped them indiscriminately. So like once they get part of that machine, that stuff don't mean nothing. They're not going to be there. They'll end up like the GE whistleblowers, and they keep fucking around, and they know that. So they're not going to say nothing. Like, I don't even have no kin to it. The problem I have is regular people taking their cues from these people. Like, how are you listening to this person? That doesn't even make any sense.
But Pittsburgh T, like I said, either way we elect, we're gonna elect somebody that might have our best interest, pretend to have our best interest, or don't have our best interest at all. And what I'm saying is, I think you think it's a coincidence that Candace Owens, Jason Woodlock, Jesse Lee Peterson, that angry sheriff guy, I don't know his name, he's always frowned up. All of those people are Republicans. You don't think that there's nothing, Pittsburgh, that's mental illness. Either way you elect, you're gonna elect the system that oppresses you, right? But the people who are out there advocating and saying all the white talking points of the people of 1964 in the video I played, all the black people that are doing that's the sign that I think it's safe to say that if you are a public figure for a Republican, you have mental illness. You have mental illness. Niggas for Trump is crazy. Candace Owens out there talking about NAACP ruined the black Americans. Jason Whitlock doing his Uncle Ruckus bit. Jesse Lee Peterson. All these people that identify as Republicans that are also blacks all have this shucking and jiving ass shit. Well, see, when Obama was in office, Pittsburgh T, Obama was the president of the United States. Don't give him a pass, because I criticize Obama all the time. Like when he passed indefinite detention, meaning they could take anybody, American citizen without due process. That shit is absurd, right? But Obama was a part of the system, the same system that existed before he was even in there. You think a black man finna get in there and change that, Pittsburgh T? That's crazy.
Yeah.
He would never even. He would have. He would have never even got to the point of running for president if he was
Scholar, the problem with this society that we have, motherfuckers ain't really about what they be talking about, man. They ain't about that shit. They just not. Like, and I think that's the part that we got to get to. Like, if you tell, like, what's a man's word? What's a man's word? What are you worth if your word ain't worth nothing, right? If I can't take you for your word that you're gonna say something, then what you worth?
That's the average politician, though.
I mean, so what are they worth? What's the point?
Nothing. Pittsburgh T, nothing. That's the whole point. They ain't worth shit.
There's no point in it. Yeah, so like the whole Obama, like the problem is like they associate these phrases with these people like they radicals and they gonna really shake stuff up. Like, man, stop it, knock it off. Just find out the dude who's gonna help you financially and vote for him, and that's it. Problem is we get stuck in all these social issues that they're not gonna do, and most of it don't have nothing to do with us. And that's the problem with all this stuff. They get us arguing over stuff that's never going to change. Like Second Amendment, every year that they finna do president, they start arguing about gun rights and Second Amendment. When have they changed that? Any of that? As long as you've been alive, bro, stop it. Like that's not happening. Like any of that stuff, like the abortion stuff, like the stuff that's minor for most people is the stuff that's social issues that people get into, and then they want to label you a bad person because you say, hey man, I don't give a shit about none of that stuff. I care about who's gonna help me financially, because all the other shit you're talking about, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Some kind of way we don't know how this game works. We play these other games, like that social stuff, that ain't got nothing to do with you, because we can go through the games of social issues that's changed drastically under Democrats, and we can play this game of social games that a lot of drastic stuff under the Republican. All your big bills, if you really want to go back in history, they all, for black people, they all happened under Republicans. All of them. So that don't really mean anything. That doesn't make them like this champion of black people. And so that both of them sides just play that game. It's just that those people you name, every single last one of them, the problem with those people is how they get their name to fame is they're steady telling you that racism does not exist. Every instance, in every way, oh, that ain't racist. LeBron James can't have racism against him. He make millions of dollars. That can't happen. Like Colin Kaepernick, he should be happy. He's making millions of dollars. So those are the problem with those people, and those are the only people that they put forward right now. It's because they are constantly telling you that racism doesn't exist, when the very same Candace Owens went to the NAACP when she sued that school and got that money. Same chick. So that's the game. That's the frustrating part with that.
He said Obama could have done anything he wanted, because that's what presidents do. They become dictators when they get in office, and they do whatever the fuck they want to do. We don't have checks and balances at all. No, absolutely, Obama couldn't have done what he wanted to do. Could he have done more? I mean, you get no argument from me there. I think he could have done more, but he couldn't do whatever the fuck he wanted to. Like, what the fuck? So with that being said, this is why I say I think it's a mental. Well, I ain't gonna think shit. It's a mental illness attached with being a Republican nowadays, especially with that celebrity motherfucker that's in office. Because look, if they said Joe Biden's racist, right? Okay, all right, I'll give you that. You think Trump ain't racist? You think Trump is gonna champion black people? You think what no. The fuck? They talk about what Biden ain't did for black people. What the fuck is Trump did? They only side with Biden because they feel like he's the Trump, because they feel like he's the lesser of two evils. Okay, but if you making that choice, don't champion the motherfucker that you riding with. A demon is still a demon. If you choose between a demon and a devil, and you choose a demon over a devil, you can't say that motherfucker is for the people. That's crazy, bro. That's why I say it's mental illness attached with that shit. Them motherfuckers be out there surrounded by people with Confederate flags, bro. And then the people that have Confederate flags are trying to change the meaning of that. What you don't know is really heritage. The same people that are telling us, hey, man, you got to shut up and get over slavery, have built statues long after, and they don't know a lot of those statues were built during civil rights protests, and they were built as a symbol to the people who wanted equal rights. That's neither here nor there. It wasn't built after the war. If it was about the immortalizing these people who fought to keep black people in bondage, then they would have did it right after the war. But no, it was symbolic. But they built all those statues and stuff. These motherfuckers riding around carrying Confederate flags. They reenact the Confederate War every year. They get together and reenact that shit. Like, bro, there's still KKK meetings. All of those people, if you put them all in a one pot, all of those people identify with the Republican Party. And you know what black people do? They talk about how great Trump is, how Trump is going to come and be the savior. He only got one more term. Trump is, when you listen to him talk, he's closer to a dictator in his speech. He compared himself to Jesus. He talked about he was Nelson Mandela. And then he even said, I wouldn't mind being a dictator. He said all of these things, and they're talking about the greatness of Trump. So that shit doesn't make any sense. Like I said, it's a mental illness attached to him. Look, not only are the races identify with Trump and the Republican Party, etc., but if you notice, the motherfuckers, like, I used to have a dude that I worked with. He was hunchback. He was if we was in high school, he would be the kid that ate by himself type shit, right? Not like a reject or anything, but special guy, and not a good way. That guy would be telling me the greatness of Trump. This motherfucker, and he ain't even white, he Mexican. He shows up to work with his MAGA cap on, with his fucking uniform, and I'm just like, Bro, the fucking mental illness that is attached to this shit is crazy. And you know what Trump has been able to master to do? He's mastered the algorithm because CNN stupid ass helped him and gave him a whole bunch of fucking free press. But he's pressed a button inside of people who were just through with politics, and he said, I'm an outsider, and he's charismatic and he's a good speaker. He lies so fucking much. He'll lie after telling you something. The very next line after his statement, he'll lie and they'll cheer him on. Like this shit, like I don't like the direction that people are going through with just a biasness. Like that shit is crazy. Everybody always thought like a civil war like would be out of the question. But if you look at the Trump rallies and all this stuff, they complain about cancel culture. But anybody who said the election wasn't rigged and was a fair election, they want to shut them up. They booing them, they attacking them, they doing all this stuff. It's like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like I feel like I said. Look, you can support the Republican Party. You can say, look, man, I live in Texas and I want it to go red because I don't want to pay a bunch of taxes. And plus, I know the name of the person locally, blah, blah, blah. That is not a bad reason to vote. You voting economics and you voting for what's going to directly affect your life. But if you talk about Trump being this hero and this man on a knight in shining armor who's going to save black people by saying, make America great again. And you're like, make America great again. It sounds like the time that he think was so great was this time.
But you know he wasn't the first person to do that, right, Scholar? That came from Ronald Reagan.
And I think this is the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened. The Negroes are just as free as we are. They have the same opportunity to work and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my right.
Thank you very much. Jim Knight with WALB Television News. We're soliciting the views of Albany people on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us your views?
Well, I think if they remain peaceful, it would be a lot better than perhaps the violence that was concerned. Well, of course, being a Southerner, I'm not for it at all.
I see.
And I just don't know how it's going to turn out. I hope we don't have any trouble.
We're soliciting opinions on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us yours?
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's the time right now. I think they have equal rights, though.
Thank you very much. Would you like to express your views?
No, I don't think so.
How about you?
Nope.
What I'd have to say wouldn't be fit to go on air.
Thank you very much.
I don't like it. I think you're trying to put something on us that we don't want.
I see.
We ought to have a national election on it rather than just letting 9 men tell us what we got to do.
And how about you?
I feel the same.
Fine, thank you very much.
I sure don't like it, that's for sure.
I see. Do you feel this will have any effect on your life directly?
I imagine it will.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
afraid we might have niggers to live next door to us.
Thank you.
Niggers to live next door to. What a nightmare. Make America great again.
Hey, but Scholar, you know that came from Ronald Reagan campaign. All of that, make America great. He was the first person to start
He
that.
just added again to it. It was just make America great. And he just added again to it.
And Ronald Reagan had to be one of the worst. I don't know, you maybe one or two worst presidents we ever fucking had in history. Put him top two. He's fucking that bad. You go look at the policies, the union busting, the banking shit he did, the wars that he was in. Iran-Contra was up under him, where Bush was in his cabinet. I think he was vice president or some shit. He was part of that shit. Like the Bushes really had like a lot of leverage on that. But like, look, let me point this point out. Like, I don't even think it's the presidents for the most part. You know what minorities and black people, especially black people, you know what the problem is? You go into the most fucked up, hoodest place you want to go and go see who the mayor is to see how long that fool been a mayor. Like, he ain't just get the mayor. He been the mayor 10, 15, like however many maxed out terms he can get, he would just keep voting for him for name recognition. Why? Why do you vote for people who do nothing for you? Like, you can't even blame that on nobody else. That makes no sense. And that's most of these cities where you look at the crime rates are up, the unemployment is up, and then you go look at the mayor's salary. This guy getting over 100 grand right now, maybe 150, and when he retire, he gonna get 120. And you think that makes sense? Because he changed it. A lot of them will change their retirement packages. And while he's walking around with cities with nothing going on, and people keep voting for these people. So even at from the top level, and they try to filter that down, you're dealing with a thief. And then when they get thieves like that Dalton chick, who's got a higher call because she knows she comes from the community and she's doing all that crazy shit, they don't even hold their feet to the fire. Prosecutors, the Fannie Willis chick, like it just is the New York City mayor, the one
Mike, Francois Botha, 6-1 underdog. Are there any concerns on your part?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do.
How about
kill this mother? Well, it. It's a fight. So whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
10 toes down, ends don't lie, I need mines right now. I took my time, put it all on the line. Swallow my pride and still can't be denied. I been about mine, 10 toes down, ends don't lie, I need mines right now. I took my time, put it all on the line. Swallow my pride and still can't be denied. Heard pussy niggas talking, saying Kingston just an old nigga. 10 toes down, that nigga Kingston still fold niggas. Never been no hoe nigga, just watch the money tree grow bigger. And I be goddamn if I depend on hoes like a nothing ass little broke nigga. Ain't no respect, yeah the game switch. Most of these niggas be shameless. Type of niggas be ducking fights, but then put your hands on your main bitch. That's some lame shit. Same niggas that I came with. That CBD Marvin, that FOFK say fucking nigga, that's the same flick. Wouldn't switch it up and wouldn't change shit. Fuck boys got the game bent. Talking down like he can't be touched, but a nigga like me make it famous. Gotta follow up and get back to business. Got that hard white, that's that catchy grip and go all night just to stack commission. If I fall, might just have to slap the clip and y'all sound live, but it's a fact of fiction. Full paper chase, that's my active mission. Stay hustle mode, never slacking with it. Stay on code about that action, nigga. Get the clapping, nigga. Just the 80s, baby. That's the crazy thing. Niggas quick to hop up on the gravy train, trying to ride my wave. I'm too wavy, man, and I never let a bitch nigga play me, man. 10 toes down, ends don't lie. I need mines right now. I took my time, put it all on the line. Swallow my pride and still can't be denied. I been about mine, 10 toes down, ends don't lie. I need mines right now. I took my time, put it all on the line. Swallow my pride and still can't be denied.